Hi, I'm Liz.
And I'm Chris.
And we're
Adulting in Theme Park Land.
Today we're in the beautiful Canada Pavilion at Epcot. We're going to check out the stores, we're going to check out some of the history here, and of course the food and beverages, but mostly the beverages.
Definitely the beverages, and I am looking forward to a special treat on this video, which we'll get to in a little bit.
So come along with us.
And let's have a good time.
The Canada Pavilion opened here in Epcot on October 1st of 1982, along with the rest of the park. And it's a beautiful spot to start your journey around the World Showcase. I guess it's a controversial spot because some people swear you should start in Mexico, some people Canada. I think it deserves a scientific experiment. But the Imagineers who designed this pavilion wanted one of the first things that you see to be these beautiful gardens over here, because they're representative of the Victoria Gardens. So this is a replica of the beautiful limestone quarry near Victoria that was turned into a lovely garden area here at Epcot, but also in Victoria. And these gardens include some of Canada's beloved maple trees and other conifers. It's a sampling of the over 650 different species of conifer in Canada. And actually, if you look here, 3 of the conifers you'll see around the pavilion are fake. The rest of them are real. And the reasons for that were they wanted it to not destroy the sightline when you look around by them getting too tall. And they also had to kind of fit with these totems that we'll show you in a minute that are over here. So yeah, it's a really lovely way to start your time here at the pavilion. As you enter the heart of the pavilion, you'll see a couple stores and 3 totem poles. These poles are kind of iconic here for the Canada Pavilion. Originally, there were only 2, and they were made of fiberglass and not carved by Indigenous people. They were created by Disney people. And so in 1998, the park commissioned their first to be carved by an Indigenous artist. And that is actually the one over here by the store. It tells the story of the raven tricking the Sky Chief, into the release of the sun, moon, and stars from a chest. And then in 2017, Disney took down the other 2 totem poles that were fake or fiberglass and commissioned the same artist to create the other 2 that are in this pavilion. Now, this artist is an Indigenous artist from Alaska. His name is David Boxley. And so this one tells the tale of the whale. And the other one tells the tale of the beaver, or the eagle and the beaver. They have great informational signs so you can see what the stories are about. But they're really beautiful and worth taking a minute to observe when you come to this beautiful pavilion. The 2 stores here have 2 very different styles. So this one was designed to represent the history of, loggers, prospectors, kind of those frontiersmen that came to Canada. And then, of course, this one represents the Northwest Indigenous culture of Canada. Okay, let's head into Northwest Mercantile and see what we find. I guess Chris has found an axe here.
It's from the United States of America.
It's from the USA.
This seems a little out of place.
Seems a little out of place, I suppose. Okay. Well, they decorated with what they had, I guess. So this store is going to sell great, kind of your Canadian merch, shirts, pajamas. I love the pajamas. Canadian flags. So this shirt's super cute. Curds, fries, curds, gravy, poutine, Canada. Oops.
Goes with this shirt.
Yeah, it goes really well with that shirt.
Right. Oh, I love
That's
cookies.
great. It's where you can come for all your maple leaf and flannel needs. What's that, Chris? What have you found?
I found a Canadian hockey puck.
Awesome.
And for all them Canadian hockey games I play. Oh, it's a Viceroy. It's quality hockey puck here.
Awesome.
And it's only take off the glasses. $14.99. You too can have a Canadian hockey puck from Canada with a Canada logo on it.
I don't know how much a normal hockey puck is.
I don't know, eh?
So cute.
Oh, look at this bag.
Yeah, so there's some useful stuff in here too. I guess like this backpack Chris is fascinated with.
I am fascinated with this here backpack, you know.
Cute Mickey ears. If you're a woodsman Mickey. It's too hot here to wear those kinds of hats, so I guess we could wear our Mickey ears with the hat. They also have some non-plaid merchandise here if you need like shorts and
Definitely
tank
some
tops.
fancy jammies.
Mm-hmm. Aw, bear hug, cute.
Maple syrup.
And then they also have a selection of traditional Canadian, goodies. So a lot of it's going to be maple flavor, but here we have a coffee crisp. What is this? Chocolate bar, I suppose. We have maple syrup. More maple syrup. Looks like candies. More maple syrup down here. Truffles made with maple syrup. So yeah, all your maple syrup needs. So in general, it's pretty cute store with like that rustic log cabin kind of look to it. So yeah, that was Northwest Mercantile. It's actually connected to the Trading Post as well, but I figured I'd come in the front, show you guys what that looks like. So of course this one is designed for with the Inuit influence here. So this place is going to be more, your sodas. It's kind of smaller. Like I said, it connects to the other store. So it's kind of all one big place, but here you can find a lot more of those treats. Here we have maple syrup, sugar, ice wine stuff. Let's see, yeah, they have ice wine chocolates, and then if you can't wear your flannel, you can drink from it. Here with these cups and mugs, all sorts of more truffle, maple, candies. If you need a toothpick holder. And then, yeah, if you just need some sodas or something. And they actually have a wine bar, so I think we need to check that out. Here in the Trading Post is a wine and beer bar, so you can get a good variety of stuff. You get some ice wine, Cabernet, Chardonnay, a couple beers, more light, like closer to like a Miller Lite or something like that, or something a little more craft. But then some of our favorite is Unibrow, which also makes some of our beer at an outside kiosk. So we're excited to try them. So normally I'd love to take our drinks into this section of Canada, but it seems to be under renovations right now. So sadly that part is closed.
The Canadians built a wall.
The Canadians built a wall, yeah. Okay, we have our beers and our wine, our first drinks here in Canada. I think a lot of people don't realize that you can get drinks in that back area there. So we have the Unibrow, which is a Belgian style beer. Here we have the Molson, which is going to be a more typical lager. And lastly, I got an ice wine, which is usually not my preference because it's usually pretty sweet, but it was a pretty traditional style drink here for the Canadian Pavilion, so I wanted to give it a try. So here's the ice wine. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah. Oh, it has a really lovely honey taste to it. So it is sweet. It's not as sweet as actually most ice wines that I have. It has a real floral honey flavor. Yeah, the honey really, the floral really hits you first, and then it dissolves into a real honey note. So actually this is delightful, and I'll be honest, this is the first time I've had it because I didn't even know that this was in the Trading Post until today. And I think I might make this a regular stop. I know a lot of people say Mexico first, but Canada has some sleeper hits. So I hope we can test this later, but for now, I'm happy with this choice.
Want to try the other ones?
Oh, sure. Okay, we'll try the Molson now. Yeah, so this is like your typical lager. I'd say like a Miller, maybe better than a Miller, but like not like a craft beer. So somewhere between like a Leinenkugel's original maybe, or like a Sam Adams original, that kind of level. Good and refreshing, especially on a hot day. Last is the Unibrow. This is a Belgian style beer, which is usually one of my favorites. They're usually a little bit heavier, a little more robust, a little bit more alcoholic-y. Oh, that's divine. Oh, that's so good. How do I describe it? Extremely smooth. For like a beer with a bit more body, a little bit more robustness to it, it's really, really smooth. It has a slight more of that alcoholic kick. So, I mean, you are tasting that it's usually a higher alcohol brew. But it's a lovely kind of blonde Belgian style beer. And for me, this is crushable. Like, this is one of my favorite styles in the world. So I love that they have it here. Yum. Well, I guess we're gonna enjoy these now. Cheers. I love all the live music that they have here in Epcot. They used to have more live performances, but at least they still kept some. And the current band is called Ways, W-A-Y-S. They play more like rock music. There used to be a band called Off Kilter everyone loved, but they changed it up. As you enter what I'm going to say the back side of the pavilion, since we couldn't go in through the front side due to the construction, pass by this beautiful rock formation, which is representative of the salmon run and salmon rivers in Canada. It's just an absolutely beautiful structure. And this is where some of those fake conifer trees are. And you walk through here and careful because you might get wet. This waterfall over here is beautiful and such a great way to get refreshed on a hot day, but it definitely gets everywhere. Look at the ground. It's so wet. Woo, and slippery. So pretty. And that leads you straight into Canada Far and Wide. And the area that this is built into is representative of the old mines that they used to have when they were mining for gold. So Canada Far and Wide started in January of 2020, so it's relatively new. It's hosted by Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy. Before that, it was hosted by Martin Short, and it's called O Canada. That started in 2007 till 2020. And then when the park opened, through then, it was actually the original O Canada. So it was original for quite a while. Let's go see the new show, the newish show. Well, sadly, our favorite booth has closed due to some rain. Of course, it's, Florida in August, so that happens. But this is where you can get the iconic maple popcorn, our favorite beer, La Fin du Monde, which is a great Belgian-style beer, and the Ottawa Apple Cocktail, which is whiskey and apple. So it's a real bummer because it is one of the most iconic treats here in the Pavilion, but just something you have to plan for, that this location closes when it starts to rain. Canada's sit-down restaurant is called Le Cellier. It's known for its steaks and poutine and some other really great items. It's meant to represent the French influence on Canada. And to get there, you head through those Victoria Gardens I was talking about earlier. I mean, it's such a beautiful way to enter this area. It's a plaque talking about the Victoria Gardens. So pretty. But we're going to actually head into the restaurant to have dinner. So come with us. It's in the basement of the beautiful French castle here called the Chateau Laurier in Ottawa, which is owned by Fairmont and a hotel you can actually stay in if you are visiting the lovely country of Canada. One of my favorite things about this restaurant is that whatever you get, you end up with this beautiful bread plate with, what is this? Pretzel bread, which is the best, and then some whole grain bread with butter. You want to save that pretzel bread if you order the soup, which is a must-do when you're at this restaurant. So the stand outside was closed, which is a bummer, so we won't get to try the maple popcorn. But we've had it before, and it's kind of like a kettle corn type popcorn, or like a caramel popcorn with a maple flavor to it. It's quite good. It's definitely worth getting when you're in the Canada Pavilion. But luckily, they serve the Ottawa Apple Cocktail and La Fin du Monde beer inside here, which you can also get outside. So that was lucky, so we can try those. Let's try it with it. Ottawa Apple, which is a whiskey and apple-based drink. It's pretty popular for drinking around the world people. I've never had it before because I've heard it's a bit sweet, so we'll see. I will say the whiskey comes through, the apple comes through. It's very tart. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's a little on the sweeter side, maybe more sweet than I normally would get. But I see why people like this one. It's quite yummy. And then La Fin du Monde is a Belgian triple. This is a pretty strong beer. At the stand outside, you get a bigger pour, I will be honest, for about the same price. It's about $12 at time of filming. So still getting outside, I think, is a better value, but we're here. It's one of my favorites to get at the end of the night. Get this, watch some, not Illuminations, Luminous. And my brain's stuck in 2000, I guess. But anyway, so La Fin du Monde. It's definitely a stronger pour than the other one we had earlier tonight by the same brewery. You can definitely taste the alcohol because, again, it is a higher alcohol beer. I think it's around like 9 or 10%. But it's still smooth. Yeah, I just love it. It's smooth, high alcohol, triple style beer. Cheers. Our appetizers have arrived. We ordered the classic poutine, which is hand-cut French fries, cheese curds, cheddar, and bordelaise sauce. Our other appetizer is the classic Canadian cheddar cheese soup. It's Moosehead Pale Ale and Nishki's apple with smoked bacon. We're excited to dig in.
I got to start with the soup. Soup is, it's a classic. Delicious beer cheese soup. Oh, look at that. Nice and hearty. Oh yeah, that is just like I remember. I've been coming here and trying to convince waitresses to just sell me the soup to go for years because it is so good, and they usually don't. But once in a while, I can convince them. So don't try it because it doesn't work most of the time. But this is a classic Canadian beer cheese soup. It's very cheesy. It's very thick. Like this will warm you up on a cool night. And frankly, it could be 100 degrees out. I'd still want this soup. So you'll note that a lot of the food that we have this evening is definitely the kind of stuff that'll keep you warm when it's chilly out. So if you're the kind of person who's going to walk outside and be really, really hot afterwards, maybe don't eat here. But actually eat here. Just live with it. You'll be happy you did. So totally worth it. The soup is delicious. It's like the perfect beer cheese soup. If you couldn't tell, I maple leaf poutine, so I'm really excited about poutine. This is going to be. I think this is the only one that survived. They used to have 4, now they just have the 1, right? Well, let's try it out. This has the Cabernet demi-glaze on it. It's got cheese curds, of course, and I'm gonna dig in. Fries are salty. The demi-glaze is rich, and it's got a little bit of a like balsamic sort of flavor to it. It's very, very tasty. I love how the fries are not. They're a little floppy, but that is kind of how Canadian poutine is. And I'm gonna get a cheese curd here, so let me get a fork here. I know. Blasphemy! I'm using a fork to eat a cheese curd. They squeak. The cheese curds squeak. They're delicious, and they squeak. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad we came.
Hey, so I got the mushroom tart, which is actually their plant-based food, but I just love mushrooms a bunch. This is like a vegan pate, trumpet mushroom, cherry wine, turnips, winter truffle, jus, and it comes with this vegan jus. So I'll pour that on. Ooh, it's a little thick. Comes out in clumps. Anyway, so yeah, we'll give this a try. I'm not a vegan, I eat meat, but I just really love mushrooms, so I wanted to see how this was. A little crust, a little shroom. I have a feeling this will be very earthy. Okay. The crust is really buttery, even though it's not butter, but it tastes buttery, which is great. And then yeah, it's a really earthy mushroom taste. The crispness of the greens kind of cuts that a little bit. This will go really well with the red wine. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it's great, and a really nice, vegan option that I don't know people would order even if they're not vegan.
I ordered the 16-ounce ribeye with béarnaise sauce, and here we have the béarnaise sauce. And ooh, it looks béarnaisey. Before I'm going to try a little bit of this, but ooh, that's delicious. Before I do that, though, I want to cut the steak in half and make sure they got it rare like I like it. So here we go. Oh, yeah, I think they did get it rare like I like it. Oh, look at that. Look at how red that is in there. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That is a rare steak right there. So I'm going to cut a little piece off and give it a try. All right, give it a little dip. You're going to have to blur this. This is too hot for YouTube. All right, that is a perfectly cooked steak. It is exactly how I like it. It is, because I ordered it rare, like you should, it is buttery, it's smooth. The béarnaise sauce adds a nice little richness and a little bit of saltiness to it, which it just complements it perfectly. I'm going to have a hard time not making loud moaning noises while eating this steak because it's that good. So, without further ado, please turn the camera off. You shouldn't see me do this in public.
Oh, that was Canada. Chris,
Yes,
did you have a good time?
I had a lovely time. It was a delicious tour around Canada.
It was Maplelicious.
Maplelicious.
Did you call it Maplelicious?
Can you call it Maplelicious?
I like it.
Maplelicious is an acceptable term. You could say that I Canada maple leafed it all, not just the poutine.
Yep. We had a lovely dinner at Le Cellier.
Mm-hmm.
We had some yummy beers and mixed drinks. I discovered a new place to buy, booze here in the Pavilion, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah. I had a delicious steak. You might see some of the footage, but we may have to blur some of it. It was salacious.
It was wonderful. So now
Yeah.
we're here after hours, so we're going to take off. But
Yep.
I've been Liz.
I've been Chris.
And we've been
Adulting in Theme Park Land.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time.